Hi, you clicked on to today's tropical tidbit for Wednesday. Before I begin here, I wanted to say one quick note. I want to know from you guys, comment in my blog whether you can hear me okay on my videos. I recently bought a new headset. You may have been able to hear the difference in quality in my voice during the last week or so. And I have a laptop, so I don't know what the volume is like for everyone else. I have to turn it all the way up to full on everything in order to hear myself really properly on my videos. So please let me know if things are too quiet. It's hard to get the mic close enough to my mouth. So let me know if that's an issue, and I'll look into fixing that. Moving on to the tidbit today, this is the tropical Atlantic. There's still a leftover circulation from Invest 94L here in the northwest Caribbean. Disorganized, sheared off. All the energy is now out here. You can see the jet stream very clearly over here, and this system is pretty much dead. There's a lot of energy trying to form a new low pressure here that's not going to tropically develop, but it is bringing a lot of rainfall to the areas north of Puerto Rico and bringing some to Puerto Rico itself down here on the southern edge of this upper divergence area, and they will remain wet for another 1 or 2 days or so. This is still a hope for some rainfall for Florida if it eventually gets drawn north during the next few days. Certainly by the weekend, we will hopefully be getting this out of here and bringing some rain to Florida before leaving. It won't be a whole lot because it's dry overall in this area beneath this upper trough, but there is hope for some rain for these folks. Right now, the main story in the tropics now, I believe the only named storm right now, is Adrian over here in the eastern Pacific, the first storm of the eastern Pacific hurricane season. You can see him spinning away over here on the floater. The sun is just rising here. He's still got that Pac-Man look to him over here, if you can see that at the end of the loop, and that's something he needs to get rid of because that's a typical signature of a weak tropical storm that hasn't strengthened substantially yet, so he needs to get rid of that. There are some issues with this system. You can see on the water vapor, here's the system, there's a lot of dry air surrounding the system, a whole lot, and there's even more back here that you can't see because of this upper trough driving down. You can see the northerly flow on that side of the trough that was interacting with 94L, pressing down on this, limiting the outflow channel to the poleward side here, and also pressing in dry air. You can kind of see a ridge outlined right in here. This is a deep layer ridge, not just an upper ridge, and this is something I've talked about before, where you have a storm that when it's tugged two ways, you've got the flow of the ridge this way, and you've got the trough this way. It's forced to move roughly northwest or so towards this ridge, and when you move towards a ridge to the northwest, it's not great for a system because it's moving towards the convergent side of it. There's a lot of dry and sinking air ahead of it, and so this track right towards here is not great for Adrian. And the National Hurricane Center has this becoming a Category 2. I'm not sure I agree. It's in agreement with all the intensity models here. You can see them all taking it up here. Not sure I'm in agreement with this, really. I could see a Category 1, perhaps, but not really a Cat 2. I think the dry air is a little bit too abundant over here for that. I'm really not sure that this is going to be able to strengthen a whole lot. Supposedly it's supposed to rapidly strengthen over the next 24 hours, 30 plus knots in intensity. The ship's model has an 80% probability of rapid intensification. That may not happen, honestly. It hasn't improved all that much in the last few hours. I looked at it last night and it didn't look a whole lot different than this. The convection is still trying to get more structured. It's popcorny looking in a lot of these bands, not real solid. It's still got that Pac-Man look like I indicated. So we'll have to see how strong this gets. It may bring some rainfall to these areas in here, which will be the main concern. It's not expected to make landfall, and the European agrees with the NHC taking it out here. In fact, the European is one of the strongest global models on this, and the European is literally king of the Eastern Pacific, so we'll have to see here. But somehow I doubt this is going to make it all the way to a Cat 2, but we will see. Eventually, sea surface temperatures, if I turn these on, they cool off right about in here. You can see that gradient. So by the time it gets to this area, it's going to start weakening anyway due to cooler SSTs. So we'll see how that works out. And regarding the Atlantic, we'll have to wait again for a couple of weeks till after June 20th to look for more development, perhaps in this region right in here, Western Caribbean and Southern Gulf of Mexico, as perhaps another surge of moisture comes out of the Eastern Pacific and we get that monsoonal circulation to get going. And I'll be talking more about that as the days go by here as we march forward in June. June is generally quiet in the Atlantic, so it's nothing to indicate anything about the season. The season is going to continue to be active regardless of what June does. It's generally not that big of an indicator of what the rest of the season will be like. So we'll just have to be patient, wait for the next system to come along. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.